I know it's been quite some time since I've uploaded a video on this channel, about 3 months to be exact, but we're back with some updates on my 2024 pairings as well as some new developments for 2025 that I'm very excited to share. But first, I want to start with my favorite things from 2024. So last time we talked about the hatchlings and showed pictures and videos of them. I want to show where things are at now. But before we can do that, I need to show where things were. So I'm just going to show what has been my favorite hatchling of all of 2024. And I'm going to try and get some nice pictures here to show you. So this is it very shortly after hatching, less than a month or two. And you can see that it nearly has a solid white dorsal on it. The eyes are awesome looking. It's darker on the sides, but there's a lot of white. You can see some of that yellow tangerine look in the white of the lily white. That was in, let's see, that would have been October. Less than 1 month later, we're already seeing white starting to spread. And the darkness on the sides is kind of fading with that white. Very interesting. So that was November. This would be March, just less than 2 weeks ago. It weighs in 5.5 grams. You can see there's a lot of yellow on the side now. I also tried my best to use my macro lens on my phone to tell if there's any kind of pores visible or anything like that. And these macro lenses on phones are amazing for this. And to my untrained eyes, it appears that there's no pores visible yet on this. Obviously hard to tell, but the ones that do appear to have pores are very obvious when we get to that. And here is a better picture, more close up. You can see how silverish the eyes look and how much the drippiness is going down from the dorsal and coming up from the side. We go to the back. It's nearly all white at this point. And we go to the other side and you can just see how much that white is spreading. This is by far my favorite. This is partially to mostly fired up here. It does get a little bit darker, but judging from the progression, I don't know how to call this one. It feels like this one is going to keep developing. If we look at it from November again, it's such a drastic change. It's 4 months and it's huge. So with that, that is my favorite of all of the hatchlings. Let's go over the red pair hatchlings here. So we have the first red baby. This one is all of the pictures combined so that we can see it all in one place. I don't want to spend too much time here. This is the one that unfortunately had that bad shed and lost a couple toes, but it's got an orange-ish red look to it, so this one could go red. And if we see the underside is definitely reddish there. Also appears that there may not be pores visual here. Visible. Pores visible. I need to talk better. Here's the second red baby. Much, much lighter. And once again, I don't know if I see any pores there. This one is 7 ounces. I forgot to say the first red baby is 6.5. This one is growing faster actually at 7. You see it's much lighter and there may even be hints of like pinkish red coming in. So it's possible this one does go red. And I should add in here that the first one I talked about is not for sale if that wasn't obvious, but these red babies or the babies from the red pair, all of them are for sale except for one. So that was the second that hatched. Now we have, let's see, we need the fourth because the third one is the one that I think I'm going to hold on to. This one is also lighter. And if we look closely here, It also appears to not have pores visible. So all of them that we've showed so far, I can't identify any pores yet, which is kind of exciting, but also obviously we don't know yet. But this one is also very light. I don't know that I get any hints of red or pinkish tone in this one, so this one could just go non-pink, non-red, could go the way of the father. But this one's at 5 grams. Let's keep going here. 5th red baby. So this one is the one that I swear what you're seeing right here are pores. And if we zoom in, go back over here to the top. Right here is what I'm seeing. It's a very clear like line there. So I'm untrained obviously, but trying to get there. 4 grams for this one. And like I said before with the previous one, I don't know if this one's going to go. It's got tints of red, you know, in the belly, but we'll see. So then there is the third one, which is not for sale because I want to see how this one turns out before I go selling it. So 6.5 grams almost. Once again, not seeing pores. Here's a side profile. You can see the pattern is spreading much more on this one. The back side, or the dorsal. And then the other side of it, much more pattern spreading up, and it continues to spread. So this one could go extreme like the dad. And here's another photo of the back. Whenever I see this one not fired up, this is midway fired up, I'd say, to mostly. And when I see it not fired up, I see a gecko that is looking pink, looking light red. So I'm excited to see where that one goes. But let's go into talking about some of these lily pairings. So we have this one right here, tricolor, what appears to have pores. You can very clearly see. I don't even need to zoom in there. It's almost 8 grams at this point, and this pattern has done nothing but spread. It gets lighter than this one fired down and darker than this one fired up, and this one is turning out awesome. This one is also available. Then we have an extreme that hatched. We can see the pattern is just spreading on this one, and if you go watch the previous video that I uploaded showing these, you can see how much it's spread since then. Again, I don't see any pores visible. This one's just under 7 grams and also available. Let's keep going here. So we have let's go this one. This one appears to just be a yellow gecko, and I don't see pores visible. There's some stuff in the bottom of the little deli cup I was using to shoot photos through. This one is going to be interesting to me because it's one of only 2 that hatched out non-lily white from this pairing right here with the yellow lily female and the extreme harlequin male. And it fires up very vivid yellow. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. This one is once again available. If you want any of the geckos you've seen that I've said are available, send me a message on Instagram on either the More Reptiles Instagram or my BMX Instagram. I check both. Now we have the last yellow lily. This was the surprise baby. Once again, not seeing pores yet. 3.26 grams, and the yellow and the white on this one has done nothing but spread. Whenever it hatched, I wasn't sure if it was lily, and a bunch of people in Crested Gecko group also weren't sure, but there were some who said, yeah, it's probably lily, and I ended up leaning with agreeing with that, and it turns out it is lily, and it has some drippiness that's spreading down the sides. The yellow is becoming more clean as it grows. Only 3.2 grams at this point, so lots of room to progress. Also available. Now, these 2 that I'm about to talk about are not for sale. This is the first that hatched from this pairing, and it is already 14 grams. It does appear to have pores, and I feel like I confidently say this one's male, even though I haven't experienced this stuff fully yet. It's leaning that way for me. So you can see how much the pattern is spreading. Tricolor, lily white. I love the way this gecko looks. It fires up even darker than this. So I'm inclined to potentially say lavender with this one, which I believe the dad is. So I know that there can be some touchiness around calling a gecko lavender. I'm just saying, I'm leaning that way. And I love the way this one looks. Then we have a yellow lily, which I don't see pores on. So I'm leaning female for now. It's 12.5 grams almost. And I love the way the white is spreading on this one. It really looks as though this one could end up looking a lot like the mom in this pairing. So very exciting. Now, you've followed along to this point. I have some very exciting things to show here. So I have paired up a cappuccino that you saw in my unboxings. I'll throw them up on the screen. So I paired up the cappuccino I got through Brian at Altitude Exotics from Treehouse Geckos. Awesome looking cappuccino I named Wildfire because it literally looks like a wildfire. Smoky, dark red that's very vivid. And I paired it up to the Lily White that I bought from Brian at Altitude Exotics. Previous to that, that is also het for axanthic. And some good news is that I have had some babies hatch. And unfortunately, in the first pairing, there were no Capps or Frapps. There was what appears to be a normal. I don't know. Like, there's elements of this that you could say, oh, maybe, but I'm leaning towards normal very confidently. And then there is a lily white that hatched out that upon seeing the Frapp that hatched just the other day, I'm saying 100% is just a normal lily white. But the cool thing is both of these are possible het for axanthic. So it's possible that these will be available as time goes on. But the very exciting thing here is that I have now hatched a cappuccino crested gecko. Here it is. This one came out so red straight out of the egg that it just looks super awesome. Very red on its head here. You can see even in the photo. Photo doesn't do it justice. And here's another one of it. This was right when it hatched. And I've been lucky enough to also have on Pi Day, we had a Frappuccino hatch. Here it is. I'm so beyond excited, and I believe that this Frapp is what's going to go in the little glass Exoterra that I keep on my desk so I can have one to watch throughout the day, and, you know, it's just fun to have on the desk. But this one is also already changing dramatically. Obviously, this isn't the best picture. It's still got some of the Pangea hatch medium stuck to it because this is immediately after I noticed it hatched, and I put it into this little temporary shoebox enclosure. Seems to be doing well. The cap is already eating very well, and yeah, it's very exciting at this point. I still have 3 more eggs in the incubator, 2 that just came out of the enclosure from the female a few days ago, and 1 that was a clutch of only 1 from over a month ago at this point. So lots more to look forward to. And I may have even paired the same het axanthic lily to the possible het axanthic, the female possible one that was sent with the male that I bought a couple of years ago, almost at this point, 1.5 years ago. And I'm pretty sure I can feel some eggs in her stomach. So she should be laying any day now, which means there could even be axanthics and lily white axanthics in the future on this channel. So with that being said, hopefully you guys are still here. If you are interested in any of the geckos that you've seen that I said are available, then hit me up. We can work something out. I'd be happy to send them out, and it'd be fun to sell to somebody who is a viewer of this channel. So with that being said, let me know if there's anything else you guys could think of that you'd like to see. With that, thanks. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you're subscribed, so we'll see you next time for more reptiles. Goodbye.